Hope everyone has joined the session. We can go ahead and get started. Once again, welcome you all for the webinar on enhanced VMware Backup and Replication with Vembu VMBackup version 3.5. To start with, let's have a quick intro on the company profile. Vembu Technologies is founded in the year 2004. We are a private company, profitable since 2006. We have 4,000 plus channel partners and we reached more than 60,000 businesses so far. We are headquartered in Chennai, India. 70% of our customers are from North America, 20% from Europe, and the rest 10% from Asia Pacific region. Vembu BDR Suite is actually a one-stop solution for all your backup and disaster recovery needs, catering to every requirement of small and mid-sized businesses. It actually has a group of products bundled together, and they are Vembu VMBackup for the backup and replication of VMware and Hyper-V, Vembu Image Backup for backup and bare metal recovery for physical Windows servers and desktops, Vembu Network Backup that helps you to do a granular file folder level backup, an application level backup for MS Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, Active Directory, Outlook, MySQL, etc. Vembu Online Backup is purely a backup solution where you can do directly backup the data to our cloud, Vembu Cloud, and using this you can do a granular file folder level backup and application level backup like Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, Active Directory, Outlook, etc. Vembu SaaS Backup is a backup solution for SaaS applications like Office 365 and Google Apps. So we also have some add-on products adding to the main products, and they are Vembu Offsite DR, which helps you to have a redundant copy or have another copy or additional copy of data replicated to an offsite data center that could be a SAN, NAS or a private cloud. And Vembu Cloud DR helps you to set up a hybrid cloud environment where you can replicate the additional backup copy data to Vembu Cloud so that in case of a disaster you can directly perform a DR from cloud environment. And Vembu BDR 360 helps you to do a 24/7 monitoring of all your BDR servers. It has the flexibility to manage and monitor multiple servers from one single centralized portal. And Vembu Universal Explorer is a tool, it's an agentless software that helps you to do a restore, a granular restore of applications like Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, Active Directory instantly. So using this tool you can do a granular recovery of applications from the image backup itself. And let's say for example if it is an Exchange, you can even do a mail level restore. If it is a SQL, you can do a database level restore. Why we need Vembu VM Backup? Like backing up virtual environments are typically become more expensive and difficult to manage. So fundamentally it required a different approach towards backup and disaster recovery. Vembu VM Backup is exclusively designed for virtual environments like VMware vSphere and Microsoft Hyper-V by the experts in the industry. It actually fills a purpose with the best breed in technology that provides a manageable solution for backing up VMware and Hyper-V, and that also at an affordable cost. So it has a manageability option with an affordable and also it's an affordable solution, and it has an option to perform a cloud disaster recovery optional. So to get deep into the product, we actually need a basic understanding of what is an RTO and RPO. Recovery time objective RTO is nothing but how much time it has taken to recover a machine after the disaster. With Vembu offers the best RTO in the industry, which is less than 15 minutes. You can do various levels of recovery, and that includes instant virtual machine recovery. So if the actual backup machine is down, you can immediately spin the virtual machine up and running on the backup server, instant file level recovery for the backed up images, and instant application level recovery for Exchange, SQL, SharePoint and Active Directory. RPO is like up to which point we can recover a backup after the disaster. So Vembu offers near continuous data production without affecting the production data center. It has an automated backup and replication scheduling mechanism in it, and the backup frequencies start from every 15 minutes. So using this you can assure that you can achieve an RPO at any point with less than 15 minutes. Backup data should be recoverable. If not, the backups are worthless. We have come across several scenarios where while performing the DR, the administrators come to realize that the backup data is corrupted, and eventually they end up in data loss. So to avoid such scenarios, we have a feature called backup verification integrated, which is nothing but this backup verification is an automated check that runs post completion of every backup schedule or once in a day. During this process, all the backed up virtual machines are booted up and the boot screen will be captured as a screenshot, and those screenshots will be mailed to the administrators. So at any point of time, just by taking a look at the screenshots, you can ensure that the backed up machines are intact, bootable and good to go at any point of time. Another important key feature with Vembu BDR is we have an efficient storage management system integrated called Vembu Hive. It's actually a file system to manage cloud-based storages where you have large-scale backup and disaster recovery applications with support for advanced use cases. Vembu Hive file system can easily be implemented in all type of storages like a SAN or NAS or directly attached storage, whatever. And it can automatically scale up or scale out the storage devices depending upon the requirement without disturbing the actual production environment. And it has an inbuilt version control, error correction, compression, deduplication and encryption integrated in it. So when we speak about migrating between the physical to virtual or virtual to physical or between hybrid virtual environments like VMware to Hyper-V or vice versa, you can do it instantly with Vembu BDR, where Vembu supports instant creation of VMDK VSD raw files of the backed up physical or virtual machine, so that the users can instantly start migrating between P2V, V2D or V2V instantly. So this solution has an inbuilt migration plans in it. So this is the architecture of the product. So the major software component is Vembu BDR Backup Server, where you'll have the storage connected where all the backed up data is stored with Vembu Hive file system. So from the Vembu BDR server, the VMware Hyper-V backups are purely agentless. Let's say if you want to back up a VMware environment, you will have a centralized console here where you can directly add the VMware server credentials. So it will have an integration service or the proxy communicating to the VMware environment, and this VM backup agent, this VM backup proxy will back up the data to this Vembu BDR backup server. And from there you will have an option to replicate the data to an offsite data center using Vembu Offsite DR, or optionally you can also replicate the data to our cloud, Vembu Cloud, using Vembu Cloud DR. Vembu Portal is where you can manage all your billing invoices and you can manage all your licenses with this particular single portal. And from this portal, the licenses will be automatically supplied to the Vembu BDR backup server. So when we speak about the VMware Backup and Replication with Vembu VMBackup, using VMBackup you can back up multiple VMs in a single backup job, and also there is an option to create multiple backup jobs with a group of VMs. It supports VMware ESXi host and vCenter server level backups, and it supports ESXi version 4.0 and above when it comes to vCenter server version 4.1 and above. IP and network remapping support for the replicated VMs are available or supported in this VM backup, where you can do instant failback or failover with the IP and network remapping. So when we speak more about the VMware backup, it's purely agentless. So let's say if you want to back up a virtual environment, we need to add the particular vCenter or the ESXi server credentials on the Vembu BDR backup server. So once it is added, there will be an integration service or a proxy, which is Vembu VMBackup, communicates with this VMware server, and from there it will read the data, it will encrypt, compress the data and sends to the Vembu BDR backup server. And optionally, using same proxy, you can also replicate the VMs from one VMware environment to other VMware and target VMware environment and do instant failback and failover. So at any point of time, the VM data will be compressed, deduped and encrypted at the storage, and even in the motion it is only transferred in the form of encrypted manner. So depending upon the agent installation, depending upon the environment setup, Vembu VMBackup transfers the data to the server with three transport modes. So it can choose any one of the following transport mode depending upon the architecture, and also we have an option to configure the VM backup client to use any one of the above mode permanently. So and those modes are direct SAN mode, hot add mode, and network mode. So if we see deep into the direct SAN mode, the Vembu VM backup client will be directly installed, or it will be installed in a manner it will have a direct access to the SAN. So the agent will directly read the data from the SAN, and it will send the data to Vembu BDR backup server storage. And when it comes to hot add mode, the VM backup client will be installed in any one of the virtual machines inside the source environment to be backed up, so that the disks on the other virtual machines will be attached to the agent using the VM inside, using the directly to the VM in which the agent is installed, so that the agent will directly read the disk which is connected through the VM, and it will send the backed up data to the Vembu BDR server. So this is an hot add mode. And the network transport mode is like the agent can be installed anywhere, that could be inside a VM or inside a physical machine, and it will read and send the data to the Vembu BDR server using TCP/IP connection. So in this method, compared to the other two methods, this method is a little bit slower, and it's a kind of legacy transport mode used in VMware backups. So when we speak about the deployment scenarios, the simple deployment mode is like from the Vembu BDR server itself, you can directly add the VMware ESXi server or the vCenter credentials using the Vembu BDR backup server's GUI itself. So it will directly pop up the virtual machine and start configuring the backup on the BDR server itself. So if you say if there is multiple VMware environment, and if you are not able to directly do it with one single BDR server console, you can have a dedicated VM backup agent or the proxy. So you need to install the agent on the specific VMware ESXi server, so that from the agent level GUI or agent console, you can configure the backup, and the backed up data will be transferred through LAN to the Vembu BDR backup server. So this distributed deployment method can be used if you have multiple VMware environments backing up to the common Vembu BDR server. So the hybrid deployment is like you'll have one common Vembu BDR backup server backing up multiple VMware environments with a dedicated VM backup agent in it, and once the data is sent to the Vembu BDR backup server, it will be replicated to Vembu Cloud for a redundant copy, so that in case of the disaster you can perform direct disaster recovery from our cloud. It's just a hybrid cloud deployment scenario using Vembu Cloud. Simultaneously, instead of using Vembu Cloud, you can also replicate the data to your own data center, offsite data center, or it could be a private cloud or SAN NAS storage, where you'll have the replicated copy transferred to your own data center, so that in case of the disaster on the local BDR server, you can perform direct DR from the offsite DR server. So this is another deployment scenario with Vembu BDR. So this covers quite high-level features available with Vembu VMBackup version 3.5. Let me show you directly how this Vembu BDR version 3.5 console looks like, how we can configure a backup, and what are all the disaster recovery options available on it. So this is the single centralized console of the Vembu BDR version 3.5 standalone product. So if you want to configure a backup, you don't need to have a separate agent installer or agent console. You can directly configure the backup from the BDR server console itself by going through backup VMware vSphere. So here you will have an option to directly add a VMware vSphere server here. Just by clicking on add VMware vSphere server, it will provide you an option to enter the VMware server credentials, where you need to provide the host name and IP address and the user access credentials of the VMware server. Once it is added, it will be listed on the backup VMware vSphere page. So I have added already one from my test bed. So if I want to back up the VMs from this ESXi server, all I need to do is just click on backup now. So once I click on backup now, this will communicate to the ESXi server using an integration service or proxy, and it will go ahead and pop up all the virtual machines running inside that ESXi server. So I can go ahead and pick what are all the VMs I want to backup and click on next. So this is where I can ensure the RPO and RTO of the backup, where the backup frequency is start every 15 minutes. So depending upon your requirement and convenience, you can choose how frequently you want to run the backup and then proceed configuring the retention policy. The retention is nothing but how many restore points are the recovery points you would like to have for the backup. So here you can configure how many restore points you need, and the interesting part is like all these backups are application aware. Let's say if you are backing up the virtual machines that has critical applications like Exchange SQL running on it, while during the backup, Vembu VMBackup not only backs up the virtual machine, it also ensures that the applications running inside the machines are consistent, so that using this virtual machine backup, you'll also be able to do application level recovery in a granular level. So if you enable this option, application aware, what happens during the backup, the Vembu VMBackup agent will check whether the applications running inside the machine is consistent or not. If not, it will wait for the application to be back on track and then proceeds running the backup. So all you need to do is like just review the configuration of the backup you have done, and just add a schedule name, and you can just by simply clicking on run the backup, you can directly start running the backup to the server. So it's a very simple wizard and a very straightforward product, where just by running a simple wizard you can start backing up your virtual environment to the Vembu BDR server. Well, when we speak about recovery, there are several recovery options available, where we say with Vembu VMBackup, Vembu BDR, you can achieve an RPO and RTO of less than 15 minutes. So let me show you what are all the restore options available. I just need to click on restore. Here you can see the instant virtual machine recovery. Let's say if the backed up virtual machine is down on the source environment, using this instant VM recovery, it will immediately spin a virtual machine up and running on the backup server's hypervisor. So until you rebuild the actual source machine, you can use the newly booted up virtual machine on the backup server's hypervisor, assign an IP to it, connect it to the network, and start using it instantly. And the live recovery to an ESXi server is like when you actually want to rebuild the VM on the source environment from where the actual VM is crashed. You can use this live recovery to an ESXi server, so it will directly restore the machine to the source environment from which it's backed up. Once after the restore, you can just connect to it and boot the machine and start using the virtual machine. And the granular file level recovery option is used to recover specific files and folders from the backed up images. So what happens is when you use this option, the backed up image will be directly attached to the Vembu BDR backup server's disk management. So just like browsing through a local disk, you can browse through the image backup, and you can just copy the files and folders whatever you require from that machine. And the disk level recovery is like if you want to do a selective disk level restore to a target environment, you can use this disk level recovery option. And the download method is like it's for performing P2V or V2P, where if you are planning to boot it on a different environment, you can just download the backed up images VHD, VMDK, VSTX, flat VMDK, and raw image file format. So using this, you can instantly perform an P2V or V2P or instant V2V operations. So these are all the various recovery options available in Vembu BDR Suite version 3.5. So it's a very simple and straightforward product, and this product also has a 30 days of trial period. So what we recommend is just directly give it a try and you feel this product amazing. So again, this session is recorded. If anyone of you need a recorded copy of this session, feel free to send an email to vembu-sales@vembu.com. Also, you can email us at vembu-support@vembu.com. Once again, thank you all for joining the session. Have a wonderful day.